Water tree duster. Water tree duster. Duster. All right. It seems to be working correctly. Actually, an NPC. I love this place. I absolutely love this zone that between this. I never played Somerset, so these sort of like Elven, sort of ancient, like it just the fact that ESO explores the second era, everything that happened before Oblivion, everything that happened for Skyrim, it sort of like gives you this sort of expanded notion of where everything came from later in the lore. Even though it's a little bit of cheesy lore, I don't fully think of ESO lore as full canon because some things are kind of it's a little bit of a different theme than the actual lore of the Elder Scrolls, but still it tries to stay close to it, and I think they do a great job fleshing it out, the overall lore of the Elder Scrolls. This is the luxury building. Right. We should go find a bender.
The Stark Fellowship is here to help, but most of the city.
I have crafting materials.
The Stark Fellowship is here to help, but most of the city treats us like invaders.
How would you react if an army suddenly appeared in your city?
If they were there to help us against the Worm Cult, I'd welcome them with open arms.
Front area? Within the area? I'm confused there.
Thank goodness! Something is wrong here!
What's the problem, Mermal?
I arrived to find the palace deserted, and the regent is nowhere to be seen.
That's not good. Let's look around. I'll check upstairs.
Strange. This door is sealed by strong magic.
This doesn't look good. See all the blood? Someone was stabbed here.
Wait, no.
Up here on the balcony, I found someone.
As I told this orc, I was working in a storeroom, and when I came out, I noticed the palace guards were missing. Then I spotted hooded figures struggling to carry someone out the side door. I think it was Regent Corinway. A small group of merchants arrived at the palace, carrying crates and bundles. I saw them speaking with the guards. Traders make deliveries all the time, so I thought nothing of it and carried on with my work. I came out and first noticed that the palace guards were gone. Then I saw 3 hooded figures carrying a large bundle. I heard a muffled cry from inside. It sounded like the Regent. One of the figures dropped something by the throne. Yes, I think so. Let me see. Swen Coast is an old retreat out on the west coast. A noble's cottage, long abandoned. And these are directions. That must be where the merchants were headed. Please, Mainlander, you must help Regent Corinway.
They had to be worm cultists. Go to the Regent's aid, comrade. The rest of us will secure the city.
Razumdar, representative of the Old Merry Dominion, at your service. He was supposed to report to Prince Azah in Sunport. Instead, he found himself alone in the wilderness until he found this manor full of worm cultists. Imagine his confusion. Then Razumdar is glad to have you here. Some mysterious fellows in dark robes smuggled an elf noble into this house just a short time ago. A romantic arrangement? Raz wondered. But no, necromantic, as it turns out. Raz admires your initiative. Still, this is a delicate situation. Storm in too quickly, and the worm cult may kill the lady. Move too slowly, and they may slip away. What is your preference? An agreeable approach. If you do not care to try the front door, you might find another way in. Raz will climb to the balcony and proceed with stealth. One of us should find the regent. Whatever happens, Raz swears the missing noble lady will come to no harm if he has anything to say about it. The worm cultists, not so much. Raz will make his move when you do. Thank you for that. Raz forgets that there are still some who have not learned the identity of the Queen's most proficient spy. Raz is a seeker of romance, too. But he is here in Solstice because the Queen decided to send one of her eyes. The eyes of the Queen are diplomats, troubleshooters, and, yes, spies. Queen Irene sends Razumdar to handle things when difficult situations arise. Speaking of which, where exactly are we? That explains much. Raz guessed that he was somewhere on Solstice, but he was very surprised to find himself lost and alone. A good thing you came along, Five Claw. Ah, Roz believes we have found the region.
That is
Set her
better.
free, Five Claw.
My thanks. But there is something you need to hear. Thank the Three Queens. Those horrible necromancers promised to steal my soul when they finished with me. I feared this old house would be the last thing I ever saw. But there is more to say, if I can trust you, stranger. Oh, someone noticed I was abducted then. I was afraid the worm cult had spirited me out of the city before anyone realized. But that's not important. We must return to Sunport at once. The worm cult is about to do something terrible. I overheard my captors. The worm cult positioned some sort of necromantic weapons throughout the palace district. They're preparing to seal off the district and slaughter all within. We must get back to Sunport and sound the alarm.
Go on, Five Claw.
You have
Head
my
back to Sunport, Five Claw. Let Prince Azar know the regent is safe and warn him of the threat to the palace district. It is clear where Razumdar's duty lies at this. To personally escort the lovely regent safely back home, of course. Raz is willing to make this small sacrifice so that you may claim the honor of reporting our success and sounding the alarm to protect the city.
Let's do this. Okay, we attempt to get some more time with the regent. A little jealous. Okay, stop. ESO, stop.
Oh, you wound Raz. This one will protect the lovely regent with his life. Raz has never failed in such a duty. Well, almost never.
Like, don't make me hate this game. We've had all of these games try to put in all this woke culture, all this nonsense into them, all this degeneracy into these games. I don't want any of that. Keep it to yourselves, please.
Razumdar, Dominion Representative Extraordinaire is here at last. He brings the Regent, too. And the warning.
Regent, by my father's sword, that's a relief. But I fear your warning comes too late. Comrade, let us speak. I see that Regent Corinway is safe, and you located the missing Alliance representative. Well done. Shortly after you departed to rescue the Regent, the Worm Cult made their move. Now the storm is upon us, and the time for battle is at hand. Yes, it seems the Regent's kidnapping was only the start. The Worm Cult hid soldiers throughout the palace, who then emerged and took us by surprise. They seized control of the palace district. Worse, the weapons they plan to use are Soul Reapers. Vile, necromantic devices that steal the souls of any who die nearby. The Worm Cult used Soul Reapers in their attacks on the Fighters Guild and Mages Guild and elsewhere throughout Tamriel. Guildmaster Merrick died destroying one. Join the others in the Palace District and drive out the Worm Cult. Destroy any Soul Reapers you encounter by tearing out their cores. That's the only safe way to disable them. Use the hidden entrance in the luxury goods shop to get inside. We'll take the Worm Cult from all sides at once, as soon as I can rally the rest of the Fellowship. Good luck, comrade.
I cannot believe it. Fighting in the streets of Sunport. These Worm Cult invaders must be stopped. While our defensive forces are not unlimited, whatever Sunport has will join with the Stirk Fellowship. For Sunport, for Solstice, for victory! The passage leads through a gap in the old city wall to a townhouse inside the Palace District. It opens into the street just below the square by Vinutilmo Palace's main entrance. I imagine we will find the Worm Cult leaders there. I detest bloodshed, but I cannot stand by while others fight to protect my people. I will join the soldiers Princess sends through the shopkeeper's passage. After you go in, I will make my way to the palace. Cautiously.
A clever plan, yes? When the enemy expects an attack at the front door, one should find a window. Go on ahead. Raz will not be far behind.
Who buys this stuff?
Wait a minute. Is this what I'm supposed to be?
Good. No sign of the Worm Cult yet. Head down the stairs. We will hold here for now.
Remember to disable the Soul Reapers, Five Claw. Raz will seek the high ground.
Through here, champion.
Okay, this definitely feels like some sort of a trap. This is one of those run around at ESO sometimes does.
Go on upstairs, quietly. The
Yeah,
Worm
this-
Cult's just outside the door.
It's definitely something weird going on.
Lead the way, champion. We'll help you destroy the Soul Reapers.
Story finds on board noble and well-to-do citizens. What's going on?
Let's delay them. I need time to find the gift.
Yes, Master. We shall hold the palace as long as possible.
Soul Reaper.
Destroy the Soul Reapers before they take more souls!
Do your worst. I'll die on my feet before I kneel to you.
Do not wait for us, my friend. There are many as you have.
I don't believe it. Thank you, stranger. Thank you.
Find the Reapers, my friend.
Help! Help! They're going to kill us! There's another Reaper just ahead! Take it out and find Baranor!
There are more in the palace.
Good work, my friend. Now make your way to the palace.
Whoa, a boss fight. I think it's a new thing.
Wretched dogs! Tideman, destroy these members!
Alright. my friend. Alright, I see what they're trying to do here.
Good work, pal. I saw Farinor flee. Let's check out the Regent's study and see if we can find out what Farinor was doing here.
Alright, so this is the first time that I've seen this in TESO. A little bit of a boss fight. It's kind of interesting. I think they want to do the whole thing where they make the game harder so people get more invested in it and don't just snooze through the storyline. I think it needs to be a little bit harder. I suck at the game. I should have died if I absolutely suck. But I was just pressing buttons and I never felt threatened. They do need to do this a little bit harder, and that will get people a little bit more invested in actually playing a game. Interesting fight anyway. I'm glad that they are trying.
Behind? Take a look around, then meet the others outside.
Gift of that? What is this supposed to be? A promising line of inquiry. The gift of that. What?
Good work, everyone. The worm cult has fled the city. Comrade,
What?
a word, please.
Man, calm down. What is he doing?
It was no easy fight, but the palace district is secure. Your destruction of Soul Reapers was a great help, and it seems you cleansed Venutilmo Palace as well. Good work. Scordo said you saw Mage Farinor.
Did I?
Did she say anything?
He's looking for the gift of that. Huh.
Wormblood? A successor to Mannimarco, perhaps, yet I know of no villain by that name. Nor have I ever heard of a gift of death. Clearly, we have much to learn about the worm cult's plots. At least you have put a name to our foe. Nothing yet. Let's take a moment to regroup. Your valor secured a firm ally in Regent Corinway and showed the Alliance representatives the threat we face. Whatever the worm cult intends, the Stirk Fellowship will be ready to meet them. Thanks to you. The conflict in the Palace District proved the Stirk Fellowship can defeat the worm cult in open battle. Yet we have to locate our foe to fight them. Farinor and Wormblood are somewhere on this island. We simply need to hunt them down. That was my thought as well. The Worm Cult plans to move something important through the passages beneath. Wormblood's orders directed Feanor to ensure its safety. Whatever they're moving, they obviously consider it important. We should stop them. Not precisely, but passages beneath sound like tunnels to me. I want you to locate them and then act as you deem best to foil the Worm Cult. Take Waxen Ash with you. She is an excellent scout and has crossed staves with the Worm Cult before. Remember, time may not be on our side. We do not know how many more Soul Reapers the Worm Cult created or where they are. 2 of you can find answers more swiftly than 1. Explain the situation to Waxen Ash, then go find the passages beneath. Many, and none of them good. The orders you found mentioned something called the Gift of Death. The cult is harvesting souls with their reapers for some so-called great work, and they have Vonus Galarian. How it fits together, I cannot say. All I know is that it does not sound good. If Wormblood wants the Gift of Death, then I do not want him to get it. Keep your eyes and ears open, comrade. If you learn something more, let me know. Who knows? Some horrible necromantic ritual, most likely. Wormblood's orders mention souls, after all. And the cult is here in numbers we've rarely seen before. Why Solstice? What are they trying to do here? That is what we need to learn. It might disappoint Vonus to learn he isn't as famous as he thinks. He's the founder and guildmaster of the Mages Guild. Gabrielle knows him better than I do. She has been standing in for Vonus ever since the Worm Cult captured him. They overwhelmed Vonus when they attacked the Earth Forge, cast him through a portal to Cold Harbor. It would have been wiser to slay him, perhaps, but they must need him for something. We could certainly use Vonus here now. They are fearsome devices. Whenever we fought the Worm Cult before, we expected those foul necromancers to turn our own dead against us, their own as well. We had to kill everything twice, but that was about corpses, not souls. The Soul Reapers are new, as I understand things. The Worm Cult did not have them during the Plane Meld, or when we assaulted Cold Harbor. I presume they have been building these weapons in secret on Solstice, and planning their revenge for a long time.
I thought I sensed the prince taking the measure of my scales. He has a task in mind for the 2 of us, does he not? Very well, I am agreeable. What do we need to do? A tricky task. Finding the crocodile's wallow by wading through the reeds may take some time. Quicker to just ask someone who knows where she nests. As it turns out, I captured a Worm Cult Bone Lord in the fight for the Palace District. I was not quite sure what to do with him after I knocked him senseless, so I had our soldiers take him to Sunport's guardhouse just north of the city's western gate. I doubt he will be happy to see me, but perhaps you can get him to talk.
Attacked the Palace District. You were there, Taylor Canor. Were you injured?
It was a close call, but the Stirk Fellowship intervened and saved us.
The tides washed the outsiders to our shore. Good reason, it seems.
The Bone Lord is still here, and he is awake again. Sergeant, we need to speak with the prisoner.
Very well. Prisoner's all yours.
Do you come to mock Kagajal for his defeat? Enjoy it while you can. The triumph of the Black Worm is close at hand. This one will not be your prisoner for long. Kagajal is sure you would like to know. But this one does not give up his brethren so easily. Death holds no terrors for one who walks the necromantic path. Kill Kagajal and be done with it. He will be back. That is not unreasonable. This one may not fear death, but he admits dying is always unpleasant. Still, if Kagajal helps you to make trouble for the Order, they will not forget. There will be punishment. Kagajal could hope for more, but he is not blind to his circumstances. Very well. The passages beneath can be found in Turner Mine. It lies in the mountains near the coast. What Faranor does there, this one does not know.
Some would say that the merciless deserve no mercy. Yet by sparing one villain, we may save the lives of many innocents. Surely that is the greater good in this case. I will meet you in the mine, my friend. I suspect Wormblood and Faranor shared that information only with those who needed to know. The note you and Scordo found referred to a shipment of great importance, did it not? If it is important to them, then it is important to us. Honor your promise. I doubted you would have much success by speaking gently to such a foe. It was, however, effective. If there is a path to redemption for the Bone Lord, perhaps it begins with an act of mercy. Now we should be on our way.
A good, solid...
Lady Corinne Coralania has said.
Excellent work. Now that you have an idea of what we do here, I can offer you more specific challenges. The Circle of Champions is always looking to sponsor players who keep participation in the games alone will bring you honor, but to stand above all in triumph is to bathe in glory. I challenge you to see your team to victory in 3 battleground matches. Complete your task, and then we can talk about your reward. Of course. Now, we may have many games available. Which challenge?
We're here for the games, of course. But I might step away and help those Stirk fellows.
What is this material? I have seen this somewhere else.
This is the place, but the passage splits. You try the door on the left, I will go right.
It's a real life material of sorts. It's very interesting.
These tunnels appear to twine together like snakes. I will rejoin you when I can.
Yeah.
Nothing more than spiders and acolytes so far. Keep looking.
I find this a little bit refreshing. I remember when I used to play ESO, usually you go inside one of these dungeons and it's just like go from point A to point B, click the thing and be done with it. But they just put you in and let you kind of explore it a little bit. Definitely just woke me up because I was definitely snoozing through this whole thing. It's just it's kind of cool. It's well designed. I like it. It's actually pretty cool. Like the summoning of the souls from Oblivion. Nice. Wait, what is life beyond that? So they're definitely sort of it's like the Mythic Dawn, where some sort of astral plane is promised to them as well. Kinda dig that. Just a base of operations, it seems. Nothing weird. They seem to be mining something. Whoa.
Ah, there you are. Follow the tracks. The passage opens into a cavern up ahead.
Alright. Some dead dudes over here. I think there are enough mobs. Yo, it's cool.
Paths meet again. I did not expect an underground river. Let us see what is on that barge. I can taste the river. It runs east under the mountains.
Oh, it's a
Must pass
Mannimarco.
through the writhing wall, or beneath it.
Wait, what's going on?
The worm cult sends a sarcophagus to the other side of Solstice. We should take a closer look.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. That's Mannimarco, the King of Worms. I kind of like it how they stick to the lore. That is really cool.
I know that likeness, Mannimarco. These are his remains. Nothing good can come from letting this sarcophagus reach worm blood.
You dare disturb the King of Worms? Gutter, smash them!
Nice. Yo, what's happening? Whoa, that's actually pretty cool. A little bit of an animation here. Back to it.
Zoom. Faranor's monster knocked us into the river. Come, we need to discuss what we found here. It is not often I find a current I cannot master, but today the river proved stronger than I was. At least we found out what the worm cult's important shipment was. The mortal remains of Mannimarco, the King of Worms. Is it not obvious? They seek to bring their leader, Mannimarco, back from the dead. A necromancer of Wormblood status is certainly powerful enough for the task. The Soul Reapers, the Writhing Wall. He wields necromancy unlike anything seen before. Mannimarco planned to elevate himself to become the God of Death.
God of Death.
I imagine he would resume that journey. Still, I thought Molag Bal had a claim on his soul. Recalling Mannimarco from Cold Harbor should not be possible. If that is what Wormblood needs to unlock the gates of Cold Harbor and return Mannimarco to Nirn, we must discover what it is and make sure he does not acquire it. What kind of a gift is death, anyway?
No, it's a little bit slightly philosophical. I like it.
Return to Prince Azar and see if our allies have news of Wormblood. Beating him to whatever prize he seeks is even more important than we thought. Do you see that eddy in the pool? That is the way out. I will see you in Sunboard. Mannimarco called himself the King of Worms and founded the Worm Cult. He was the most powerful necromancer of our age and a longtime enemy of Vanus Galarian and the Mages Guild. Molag Bal's dark anchors were his doing. He died at Sankrator. He was one of the 5 companions, along with Sai Sahan, Lyris Titanborn, and Abner Tharn. He joined Emperor Varen to search for the Amulet of Kings. Varen hoped to prove that his reign was divinely ordained. But Mannimarco betrayed him. The companions found the amulet. When Varen began the ritual to light the dragon fires, Mannimarco corrupted it. Instead of crowning a true emperor, it unleashed the Soul Burst. Varen unwittingly helped him break the ancient pact protecting our world.
Interesting. This is core Elder Scrolls lore.
It took years, but the companions reunited without Mannimarco. Sai Sahan had hidden the Amulet of Kings at Sankrator. When they went to retrieve it, Mannimarco tried to stop them and was defeated. Molag Bal took his soul. Do not be misled by the shambling corpses or dusty bones you have seen. That is the work of but a moment. With time, skilled necromancers can restore a years-old corpse to a lifelike state if they care to do so. For Mannimarco, they would.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cut here, but I find it really interesting that they tried to stay close to the lore. I thought they were gonna do the whole thing where, okay, we got this new necromancer who is gonna be the leader of the worm cult, and it's gonna be like a simple story and so on and so forth. And I was like, fine, I'm fine with that. Just like filler lore, just like whatever. Just give me a quick story so I can play the trial or the raid or whatever. But it ties to the whole Mannimarco thing, and even the whole thing about the Amulet of Kings and Oblivion. Now that they released Oblivion Remastered, you kinda get back to the story. A lot of people didn't. I am amazed to find out how many people didn't finish. They didn't finish Oblivion. They never played the full storyline, and I didn't finish Oblivion until Remastered. Now that I've gone through the whole story, I realize that the story is so much deeper and so much interesting than most people think. And I think part of the success of Oblivion and the Elder Scrolls lore as a whole is part of this story. The whole idea that this world is to be invaded by these forces. Now, you might think this is like something super basic, but it's actually a deeper lore. When it comes to going beyond the lore, you can talk about Gnosticism, you can talk about the whole idea and what you learn when you go to the realm of, oh my god, I forgot his name, and oh my god, he's like the main guy. Mysterium Sarxis, oh, I forgot, the guy, the main villain in Oblivion. You go to his realm that he creates on the fourth dimension, or the astral realm, or what you may call his realm of Oblivion. And then in that realm, you realize that actually Tamriel and Mundus is actually just another Oblivion realm. Supposedly the king of the Daedra, or the leaders of the pantheon of the Daedra, which is Murren's Dagon, is the king of this Oblivion realm. So this is why this fight between good and evil happens in Mundus, the Aedra and the Daedra. Now, as I said, this side to the whole idea of the fallen angel and Gnosticism and how we must renounce this world, because this world is in reality the creation of the devil, which is in the lore of the Elder Scrolls, the Daedra. And they want to do this plane mode where they bring this fourth dimension, you may call it the astral realm, into the physical material realm, which is the third dimension, which we know as Mundus in the lore of the Elder Scrolls. So the whole idea that they are tying this worm cult and this new necromancer, Wormblood, or whatever his name is, to all the heaps of lore of the Elder Scrolls and tie it to Mannimarco and so on and so forth. You truly have to give it to them. Give it to Stenimax, who are really trying to keep everything together with the lore. It takes a lot of effort to put all of these things going together. And when you think about the depth of lore, which, as I said, it goes beyond what most people think, you really have to give it to them. I'm really enjoying Solstice. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it. I do snooze through it sometimes when I go through the basic stories, and the way that they deliver the dialogue is a little bit too slow in my liking. They should do it faster. They should do it a little bit more dynamic. But still, the fact that it ties to the whole lore, and something that they talk about a lot when it comes to the Elder Scrolls Online lore, is that you have these environments which are like paradise and the elven and the architecture and the beautiful music, and then you contrast all of that with something very grim, which is, for example, Cold Harbor, or this wall which is supposedly made by souls, and they are just getting all these souls probably to bring back Mannimarco from the dead, and so on and so forth. So that is actually really, really cool. You cannot have like a totally negative area or a negative game. As I said, this is one of the reasons why I don't play Fallout or some of the other games, because who wants to spend hours upon hours in a desolated world by nuclear war, or just a desert that is inhospitable? You gotta have nice places, nice little high fantasy around. This is why the MMO must have this high fantasy. Or you cannot make a whole MMO in a desert, an abandoned, hostile desert, because people will get tired of this environment. But this contrast between the dark environments and all the architecture and the elven lore and so on and so forth, I think this is truly what makes the Elder Scrolls Online contender top MMO. I truly wish that now that they've cancelled the other MMO, they certainly put the effort to bring ESO to where it should be. It has the potential to be a top tier MMO for sure.
Let nocturnal shadows surround and comfort.
Comrade, tell me quickly, did you find the passages beneath? And did you discover what was so important down there? And what of Walks in Ash? Did something happen to the Pact representative? Mannimarco's remains. Surely the Worm Cult cannot want to bring back the King of Worms. Yet what else would they do with his corpse? You return with grim news indeed, comrade. What about Feanor or Wormblood? Were they there too? The fortunes of battle can be fickle. Even if Feanor escaped justice, you at least returned with information. Now we know the Worm Cult has Mannimarco's corpse. We must endeavor to foil their plans. Meanwhile, Gabrielle may have learned something.
It's strange. Bonus's staff is definitely pulling me somewhere. I think...
Vanis, where are you?
Almost. This is no good. Gabrielle, I have much to tell you. Bring my staff to Lison. The wall is thin there. I'm in a worm cult prison. Listen, Wormblood is looking for a Sith's shrine in Solstice. I think he...
Sith's shrine?
A relic called Gift of... Damn, I can't...
I think I know what we need to do. Friend, let's talk.
Lizal. That is a pass in the mountains north of
I knew this staff of Vanis's was trying to tell me something. He made sure to leave it behind for me when the worm cult captured him at the Earth Forge. He knew we were going to need it. The message wasn't terribly clear, was it? He said he was still a prisoner, but I don't think he was calling for help. I think Vanis wants to warn us about something. He was trying to tell us how to make it easier for him to reach us. Vanis Galarian is one of the most powerful mages alive. I'm not surprised he maintains a mental connection with the staff he made with his own hands. And this wouldn't be the first time he allowed himself to be captured to get close to his enemies. Vanis has likely seen things we have not, but we have information he needs to know too. For example, your discovery of Mannimarco's sarcophagus. Slowly but surely, we're bringing the worm cult's plots to light. Thank you, friend. I've been wondering why Vanis Galarian's staff is pulling me here and there around Solstice. Now that Vanis managed to send a message, I finally know why. I think he's on the other side of the writhing wall. That's what we thought. But Vanis mentioned a thin spot in the wall at Lizal Pass. If the wall impedes his ability to communicate with us, that must be because he's on the other side of it. Take the staff to Lizal Pass and re-establish contact with Vanis. He may need our help, or we may need his. I think he wanted to warn us about something Wormblood is planning. We need to find out what that is and stop it. Will you go with me? Regent Corinne said Lizal Pass is located in the mountains north of Sunport. Meet me there. The sooner we can speak to Vanis again, the better. We'll leave Prince Azah and the others to figure out which shrine Wormblood is interested in. Vanis Galarian is an archmage, and the longtime foe of Mannimarco and the Worm Cult. In fact, Vanis founded the Mages Guild specifically to combat the rising influence of dark necromancers in Tamriel. Oh, it was centuries ago, long before my time. But what's a few centuries to a high elf archmage? Back in those days, Vanis and Mannimarco were friends of a sort, then rivals. They studied together in the Psijic Order until their falling out. As I understand it, Vanis caught Mannimarco practicing forbidden magic. The Psijics allowed Mannimarco to leave without taking any steps to stop him. So, Vanis left as well. He founded the Mages Guild to do what the Psijics would not.
Interesting. Oh, what did I just do? Lightning barrier? What the hell is that? What else? What else? This? The benefactor. It will show pass. Really cool. Everything ties together to the overall lore of the Elder Scrolls. So I like it how they cannot bring anything big into the lore of the Elder Scrolls. It has to be small things. It has to be to fleshing out the lore. So when you go into the overall lore of the Elder Scrolls, you know that in the second era, in the first era, what happened is that a lot of people were communing with the Daedra and they were doing the dark arts and whatnot. and there was this whole necromancy sort of crisis and problem, which is why the Mage's Guild was created. So that's part of the lore. So in ESO, what you do is that you play through some of these storylines, this lore which fleshes out the overall lore. It's nothing new because we know that there were a bunch of necromancers in the second era, and this is why the fight between the Mages Guild and the Empire trying to bring control into all these Daedra worshipping people occurred. So you're kind of just playing like the side stories of the Elder Scrolls in the Elder Scrolls Online, which I think it's pretty fitting for an MMO, to be honest. I like it. Where am I going? What the? Okay. The zone is very, very small. Barely a fraction of the size of some of the previous zones. But it's very fleshed out, and this whole writing wall, now that knowing that it actually has a storyline behind it.
Wouldn't want you to come down at this gorge too.
It's really, really interesting, really cool. We shall pass. I do love how the Argonian architecture, which is all these ruins seem to be Argonian of sorts, and they probably have something to do. I thought I heard them say something about cities, but I'm not sure if I misheard that. They were looking something dealing with cities, and when you think about the Argonians, how they used to worship cities. Maybe there's something about it, the whole skulls and everything, based on the Aztec lore and architecture, I guess. Very interesting. Even the name, I think, is Lee Charles, something like that. All of that is based on Aztec or Mayan, or I don't know.
We're too close to the writhing wall for a portal, but I brought grapple bows just in case.
Ooh, big boy. It's a lizard bird.
Clearly the worm cult is here, and having some trouble with the local wildlife. What's ahead? See that post above the red flowers? It would be a good place to use a grapple bow. Not much of a pass, is it? If I'm not mistaken, this cave leads to a path through the mountains. More of a goat track, really. Be ready for some climbing. We'll probably have to do this the hard way. Grapple bows. Never used one? They're fun. Since the writhing wall interferes with portal magic and we're going to get very close, I won't be able to use spells. So I brought the bows to help us climb. I hope we won't have to use them, but here you go. I hope Vanus will take care of that for us. If we reach a spot where the writhing wall is thin enough, he'll find us. All we have to do is keep going up, and deal with any worm cult patrols in our path. I wish Vanus Galarian were here. I have a feeling that nothing we've seen on Solstice would surprise him. I'll lead the Mages Guild as best I can, but I'm not the Great Mage.
Alright, where's the grapple hood here? I don't see anything that can be there. Why do you make it hard? Make the fights easy, but these things are hard. Okay, I can climb here. Yes. Thanks. I don't want to cling to the whole thing. Are you supposed to actually do this? Not quite sure. I mean, I'm climbing it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna find a little point and then. Frustrations. It's up there. Okay, Google time. I absolutely hate when they try to make these little mini games. They don't make them correctly, and it's really hard for you to kind of figure it out because there's like a glitch or something like that. This is very frustrating. Like, don't even bother. Just World of Warcraft has a lot of this. Oh. Wow, you literally have to find like a super little thing, which is right there. Jesus.
This looks like a promising spot. Be ready.
Finally! We must speak swiftly. I have little time. Gabrielle, help maintain our connection.
Speak with Vanus, friend. I'll maintain the connection as long as I can.
I assume you're assisting Gabrielle. Good. I hope she still had my stuff, but I wasn't sure my previous messages got through. Listen, we have little time. The permanence of the wall fluctuates and I can be cut off at any moment. Where are you now? I'm in Solstice as well, on the other side of the writhing wall from you. The worm cult brought me here from Cold Harbor, and they brought Cold Harbor here as well. Wormblood is attempting a new plane meld, in reverse.
Interesting.
Like Molag Ball's Dark Anchors, but in reverse. Instead of dragging our world into Cold Harbor, he's bringing Cold Harbor into Nuremberg. The eastern side of Solstice is already changing. You can't. Not while the wall still stands. I have some help in here, but my ally convinced me it's impossible for now. The writhing wall is an insuperable barrier. In spots such as Lizal notwithstanding. I need you to...
Father, I see what Vanus meant by permanence. The thickness of the wall fluctuates. We need to find another weak point.
Oh, that's really cool. This is actually Cold Harbor, kind of creeping in into the world. Very interesting. So they're not bringing the world into Cold Harbor, bring Cold Harbor into the world. So that's basically, if you think in other terms, it's about bringing the fourth dimension into the third dimension, not the other way around. Interesting. Whoa.
More cliffs. Look for grappling points to traverse these ruins.
Like little mini bosses, they're kind of neat. Oh, that's cool. What is that? Oh, cool. Literally Cold Harbor, kind of creeping in. Very cool. And like I should die here. Like I pulled the whole entire public dungeon. I should have been dead over there. I mean, it's kind of nice to kind of round them up and kill them. But if they did it just a little bit harder, the outside world, it's just a little bit better, like a little bit harder. I do like that they are bringing like new little mini bosses, and there's a lot of variety to the enemies that you face, and some of these mini bosses are actually a little bit harder than they used to be. Still, it's a little bit more. Oh. Cool. I'm willing to say that the Elder Scrolls Online literally has one of the best environments in any MMO out there right now. I mean, I guess Final Fantasy is a good contender. But other than that, since all MMOs are a little bit older, and ESO is one of the newer ones, when it comes just to environment, then you add the music and the lore and everything, it really stands out. Now we're up there. Here. Cool. Am I going the right way? I shall pass below. What do you mean below? Oh. I'm confused. No, there's something wrong here. Why can't it go back here? What the hell? Come on, I'm gonna go to the whole thing again. Unless I know where I'm going this time. Skip everything. Nope, I already did all of this. I'm not doing it again. That could ban us over there. That a lot. Okay, I think it's time for me to. Oh no, I might actually die here.
This is proving to be as
Wait. I came here last time. Oh, I think it's gonna be here. So it's clearly shown pass, and it's below. And whatever I have to do, I have to do it below. Maybe I'll find something here.
see elements of that foul place all around us. Here. The wall is thin here.
I think I had to wait for her and get close
There is
here.
more I must tell you.
That's so dumb.
Curse the luck. I sense that the writhing wall fluctuates at random, but I assumed we'd have more time. Thin points appear and disappear without warning. How far has the worm cult's reverse plane melt progressed on your side of the wall? Daedra. That's worrisome, but not unexpected. If you aren't surrounded by lakes of azure plasm or looking up at floating islands of rock, then things haven't gone too far yet. We still have a little time to stop the worm cult. I'm not sure yet, but an army of necromancers and Daedra is massing in eastern Solstice. Clever of Wormblood, really. If he gathered his forces anywhere in Tamriel, we would have noticed. But a cursed island in the writhing wall blinded us. Unlikely. Wormblood controls a terrible source of power on my side. Something that consumes souls. The worm cult soul reapers feed this thing. In turn, it empowers the writhing wall. Great effort. But to what?
Cut off again! We must find another place where we can speak with Vanus. Look! Up the steps! Another weak point!
Hurry, friend. Listen closely. Wormblood seeks a relic called the Gift of Death. My source tells me it's hidden in a place called Voska's Shrine. He must not acquire it. It's part of a Tibahatse court, sacred to Sithis. My ally here tells me it's in the hills southwest of Sunport. The Solstice Argonians used to play a ritual game there. A bloody one. As for why Wormblood wants the Gift of Death, I'm not sure. The worm cult brought Mannimarco here. Now that explains much. Wormblood must believe this Gift of Death can resurrect his old master. It's up to you then. Stop Wormblood from obtaining the relic. If he... Damn it. Here come my captors.
Lost Vanus. We were lucky to learn as much as we did, but we know what we must do. Let's talk, friend. I hope Vanus is alright. I don't like the way that last conversation ended. For that matter, I don't like what he told us. The worm cult gathering strength behind the writhing wall, and a new plane meld? That's terrible. I don't think so. Vanus mentioned a source of power. Still, we had to invade Cold Harbor to stop the plane meld before. Good people lost. Dead. I've missed Dear Darien ever since. Now Wormblood is bringing it back? And Mannimarco too? You're right, of course. We don't know if Wormblood is close to his goal. So you'd better head to the Tibahatse Shrine. Find the Gift of Death before he gets there. Or at least delay him. I'll return to Sunport and warn the Fellowship. Good luck at Voska's Shrine. I'll make sure Princess Ah sends help just in case you run into Wormblood too. It hardly seems fair. So many gave so much to stop the worm cult last time. Like Darien. Now they're back. So what did Darien die for? It's strange. I don't know if Darien actually died at all. He was with us all through that grim and terrible campaign in Cold Harbor. But by the time it was done, he was simply gone.
Darien, sounds familiar.
No one saw Darien fall. He joined us for the fight at the planar vortex, where we stopped Molag Bal's plane meld. But he never returned. Still, I have reason to believe Meridia intervened.
Interesting.
Saved him so he could serve her later.
Very, very interesting. So Meridia again intervened. Again, the whole theme of the Elder Scrolls, one of the main core themes in Elder Scrolls lore is that, as in many of the good cool lores, is to explore the whole theme of that and the non-existence of that, because with magic and with all of these things, you can overcome death. This is why they become necromancers, because they're trying to study death, understand it, and overcome it, and become immortal through necromancy, which is the evil way, the wrongful way. But now, when you think about in the Elder Scrolls, the whole concept of achieving Him, which is CHIM, which I think was attributed to the ancient dwarven. Not really sure, but for sure it has to do with Anu and Padme and how you sort of go back to the before Mundus was created, before Oblivion was created, before any of creation. And it's like a nirvana. So in the game, in the lore, it's like achieving the nirvana, achieving this place where nothing exists and everything has already passed at the same time. Now, what I find amazing about finding these aspects in the lore is that when you go into the real study of what people are saying when they go through other states of consciousness, which ties to the magic and so on and so forth, is that they're saying all of this is real and death is not real. Now, I know I go crazy about all of these things, but when you go into other states of consciousness, near-death experiences and so on and so forth, a lot of what these experiences come back with is that they met beings somewhere in the cosmos. Some beings were on a negative side, some beings were on a positive side, and they are saying that there's a larger thing going on behind the scenes that we don't understand. Now, I'm talking beyond the Lord. I'm talking about the real study of the afterlife. So when you go into these lores and you find all of these themes of Meridia, and so it is very simple. I don't expect this from Elder Scrolls Online lore. I think it's gonna be a super basic little story about how there's these necromancers and you have to kill them, so you go to the trial and so on and so forth. But now this character, Lady Bene Gabriel, whatever her name is, he talks about this Darius guy who died, but he didn't die. Sort of like Obi-Wan in the Star Wars. He just disappeared. Sort of like the Dwarven as well. We don't know if they died. We don't know if they, quote-unquote, ascended. Did they achieve Kim? Did they go to a realm of Oblivion or a realm of Aetherius in physical form? We don't know. So the fact that they introduced that little thing about this Darien guy, which maybe he didn't die, maybe he overcame death in a different way, in a positive way, in a righteous way, through the help of a goddess, which she supposedly is an evil goddess because she's Daedra, Meridia, but at the same time she is the goddess of light and she's against Daedra, she's for righteousness. So is she evil or is she righteous, or is she neither? When you think about it, it's a deeper philosophical theme, and I am very, very glad that the Elder Scrolls Online brings this lore into it, because I was definitely not expecting any depth of lore in this little story that they're trying to tell you. But it actually ties to everything. It ties to the overall lore of the Elder Scrolls lore about death, about planes of reality beyond, about souls, and the main thing about overcoming death through the negative way, which is necromancy, or the positive way, which is perhaps like the dwarven did through ascending, or perhaps through the help or through the realization of your own divinity, which is achieving Kim, Chim, which is that state of nirvana which exists in the Elder Scrolls lore. It is very interesting. I'm hoping they keep going with this depth of lore in this expansion and in the latter expansions, and I'm happy to keep exploring and give Elder Scrolls Online an 11th or 14th chance, as almost every year I come back and try to get into the lore. Finally, I'm finding this depth of lore weird because supposedly the game now is in maintenance, so they're making like these little stories and whatsoever, but it's actually pretty deep. I like it. I'm glad this is the case. Looking forward to keep exploring.